few moments of O'Sullivan magic in frame 2, a quite sensational 135 clearance. The rest of it's been pretty ordinary, but he's won all 3 frames. He's one away from the round of 32 and a possible meeting with the whirlwind Jimmy White, who of course plays Matthew Stevens later. For Alan Taylor, well, it's not as though he's not had chances, but he's just not been able to make anything from them.
Yes, and that was an attempt at a containing shot, but he's not really contained the situation at all.
1. Eight.
Oh, goodness me. You look reaching across at the ball there, and he looked like he was in a lot of pain, actually. Quite where he'd want to play that shot in the first place, I don't know, when he had the one he could just run through.
$16. 17. $24. $25.
Well, he was very straight on the black. It was always going to be difficult to generate enough pace
32.
to get the punch open. And on the black. Some shot. Even that, he was again quite straight, but he
40.
Found a way of getting wide up for the red.
41.
Finishing on the black again. He's off again here. And now this is key, the fact that he's played on this red in this way, because this really
48.
opens the other reds up quite considerably.
49.
Seven reds, 7 blacks.
56.
Is he in the mood for a maximum?
Well, he's taking this red because later on it could have been a more difficult one
57.
to get an angle to play on the black from. So while it was there, might as well play it. But these are lined up perfectly down the middle of the table. You'll never see a better chance than this for a 147.
64. $65.
Nobody has ever made more. 14 on the O'Sullivan roster.
72.
Except Kyren New, of course, has already made one in this tournament. As things stand, he pockets £17,000 for that break, but if O'Sullivan were to make one here, he'd have to share it.
Well, he had such a big area to play in. Anything up the table,
80.
he had certainty to be on a red.
81.
And the pink is never going to be on its spot in a 147 chance because it's never been potted, but it's still in a very good position.
$88. $89. $96. $97.
And frankly, it would be a surprise now if O'Sullivan doesn't go on to make the perfect break.
Well, all the reds are in such good position.
104. $105.
Well, that wasn't clean, but in it went.
Yes, and you saw Ali Carter looking across. It tends to attract the attention of other players.
112.
It's always a special moment. And it's all about just getting up for the yellow, not getting the blue or the pink in the way here, which can happen. Player stopped on the other table, which is nice. What a shot. That is struck to perfection.
120.
Steve Davis made the first ever televised 147 back in the early 80s. He won a larder for his trouble.
122.
It has been a very straightforward break so far.
All right.
Everyone stopped now. All eyes on O'Sullivan.
125.
Saying it's gone all quiet. Well, yeah, it would do. People want to see this. And I have to say, it's been the most sublime break. He's just gone too far. This is the first time in the break he's not been in inch perfect position. Now, does he have the angle? It looks like he does. It's not straight, and that's the only way that you'd give him a problem here. Oh, this has been just magical.
What a way to round off victory. He made a 135 break in frame 2, which was sublime. But this one is extra special. It's a maximum from Ronnie O'Sullivan. Incredibly, the 15th of his professional career. Alan Taylor had the best seed in the house. He was overawed today by the brilliance of O'Sullivan. In those two frames in particular, he produced the kind of snooker that only he can. And that is a memorable moment for this Crawley crowd, on their feet to applaud. Everyone stopped to watch, and it was well worth stopping. O'Sullivan, quite sensational as he goes through with a flourish by 4 frames to 0.
There are 2 frames remaining. There's the trophy that someone will take away tomorrow night. But in terms of today, 2 frames remaining in this session before they return this evening for a possible 9. Ricky Walden clearly wants at least one of these last 2. 5-3 down is not terminal by any means. 6-2 against Mark Selby. It's a tough ask to come back. So an important couple of frames. If he can, of course, win them both, then 4-4 will be delighted. In truth, it could have been any score, really, this afternoon. There's been a lot of chances, there's been a lot of mistakes. It's not been the highest quality, but every frame counts the same.
Well, that's opened up a few. Ricky looking at this red down the right hand side. Well, I can't believe what I'm seeing here, actually, David, because Ricky's played so well up to this point to get himself into the semi-final, but it's just not been there today.
No, it's not really been good enough, has it? Unfortunately for him so far. I mean, you look at the players he's beaten to get here: Mark Williams, Ding Junhui, Mark Allen. There's 3 terrific wins.
Great shot there. Just look at the backspin. Brilliant. Well, that was aggressive. There you go. Goes again. Well, I know it's early doors, but we've said it all week. There's £59,000 available for a maximum.
It'd be amazing to get one now, wouldn't it? Bearing in mind the quality hasn't been great all afternoon. But, you know, Mark Selby's a great player, and it could happen. He's had one before in a tournament. He missed the black last year in China for another one.
16. But
this will be worth 59,000.
17.
I think the main thing for him, though, is to kill a frame off in one visit rather than breaking down on 40 or 50, which has been happening.
Well, if he does get into tomorrow's final, he's looking for something, but he'll have to play better than this because Neil Robertson is on it. Andy, we don't have to tell him that. Got to feel for Stuart Bingham, though. 25. The way he came back last evening, that was a great mountain to climb. He nearly climbed it. 8-3 behind, back to 8 all. Had a chance in the last. Well, he's still on. He's got that red down the table, but the rest are in the middle of the table.
32.
The first official maximum break was made by Steve Davis at the 1982 Larder Classic in Oldham. There have been 99 so far, so if Selby were to make one, it would be a historic milestone. Well, he'd have the best seed in the house. I'm not sure it would be great consolation, though.
The first non-official one was John Spencer, wasn't it? But unfortunately, 40. The cameraman went for a tea break. That doesn't happen anymore. There to put them on record.
41.
Yes, and also the table that he made it on was found to, the pockets were not ratified, so it wouldn't have counted regardless.
Well. Well played.
He's still going.
48.
6 reds, 6 blacks.
Ken Doherty mentioned yesterday that he had 2 147s back to back, but there were double-decker buses.
Yeah, like he's been on a bus lately.
Probably not since he was a school prefect.
Ken, of course, I know everyone knows this, but I might as well say it again. He missed the black in the Masters 56. Final against Matthew Stevens on 140.
And that was for what, an £80,000 sports 57. Car as well.
Yeah. Selby's still going though. This is the 8th black coming up.
Wow, this would be fantastic if he can knock this in. We were hoping that there was going to be one this week. Ronnie O'Sullivan had a crack at it 1, 2 or 3 times. The Yang Wenbo 64. Missed the yellow against Elliot Slesser early on in the tournament.
65.
He was on 120 there.
Well, this black and 1 more red, and he has secured the frame.
and guaranteed a lead going into this evening's session.
72.
It's his highest break of the match so far, but he wants it to be a lot higher. Just looking a long way in front, the brown and the blue. It's going to need to be sorted out.
Yeah, I think that it might just go into the left corner, actually, David, which would help. Ooh, that was not quite in the middle of the pocket, but he's still going. Oh, this would be fantastic.
80.
Yes, and everything that's gone before would be forgotten, I think, by this crowd. They could say, I was there for the 100th maximum break.
Well, this is really where the butterflies start to kick in, you know, even in practice when you're making one. But out there in a major tournament. Well, so far, so good.
88.
And at this stage, everybody willing to make this, even even Ricky would be doing that. He knows the frame's gone. Can't do anything about the frame, so he's just hoping that Mark makes one.
$89.
Well, that's clever. He's decided to get rid of this red at the table, and he's got a good angle to get back for the black here. Could have played the ones to the middle pocket. Didn't want to leave this one till last. Keep going. Keep going. Good thinking from the Leicester man there. Get rid of that one early. Concentrate on these last two reds. It's still on. Well played. And he's got high on that red to come down to the black. He's got the straight red to the corner, actually. Hasn't looked at that one yet.
104.
Red into the yellow pocket.
$105.
Well, now the nerves will be growing, not just Mark Selby's. I think everybody's here at the Barbican.
Well, the first century of this second semi-final. Could it be a maximum?
$113.
He's got the angle. He can stun off the left-hand cushion. He could screw past the pink on the right-hand side. Well, he'll be part of history as well as all these people will be. Oh, well played. Slow down, slow down. Perfect. Great shot. Well, he's got to hit this nicely. Get the white back where it is now. And I think the brown will go. Yes, there's plenty of room. It's definitely on. No problem with the brown. Oh, the adrenaline's kicked in a little bit. He's okay. He can come back off the back cushion here. Just 5 balls away from his second recorded official maximum and a £59,000 bonus. Big bounce. Go on. Go on. Keep going. Oh, Mark.
125.
Anything but that. He's now got to send the white around the table. Just overscrewed the yellow. Underhit the green. Now he's got to try and miss the pink on the way back here and avoid the in-off in the middle, which can happen. Well played. Now then, Where's this white? Slow down, slow down, slow down. Great shot. Well played.
Oh, that's the shot he'll remember if he does complete this maximum. Remember in China last year, he missed the last black.
That brown there, David, was a similar shot to the last red that Ronnie knocked in, wasn't it? Went around the houses to make his a few months back.
134.
But he's just left himself a little bit in the middle of the table. It's a stretch. Might need the rest again. Mini butt. Well, he's not taking time out, he's just going for the mini butt.
Well, it's amazing how you can smile about it. Even Ricky Walden can smile about it, but the pressure's well and truly on here.
Well, 2 balls here for a bonus. He's got to go for the rest now. 2 balls here for a bonus of £59,000.
Well, everyone's willing him on.
Get in, go on, get in. Whoa, whoa. Oh.
Can you believe it? Look at the black he's left himself.
He's going to have to play it to the middle.
Oh my word.
Well, they're cheering him on. They want to see this in. Come on, Mark, knock it in.
How many of these would you pot out of 10? Not many, but it's for the 147.
Yes, he's got it.
That is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. It's a moment of magic. It's a moment of history for Mark Selby. He's made the 100th official maximum break. And what a black he knocked in. That must be the toughest black that's ever been potted for a maximum. This is a day he will never forget, whatever now happens in terms of the result. He's 5-2 up, but that frame is one he'll remember as long as he lives. And that black is one he'll remember as long as he lives. Brilliant.
And he's managed to hit that cue ball a little harder this time. Kiss on the brown has made it a big target, yellow and brown, to try and get in behind. Just short of pace. When you play off the reds thick, you're never certain what's going to happen to the reds, and one has gone towards that left corner. I'm not sure if I can avoid the reds, so if you can't avoid them, try and play a cannon to one of them. That may leave you on the black. And that's what he's attempting to do. Oh, but that cue ball must have run off. He couldn't have missed the ball by that much. It must have drifted off to the right.
1.
Well, that one only just dropped because it wasn't clean. Cue ball isn't great.
Yeah, it would have been nicely on the black had he potted it cleanly. This is tough. Good shot. And again, wasn't sure what was going to happen to the cue ball.
8.
He's on this red to the right corner. It was a tough pot
9.
as well. Held for the black. Now choice to just drop it in dead weight and finish on the red. Oh, going to the pack. Chose dead weight.
16. 17.
Leaving a nice angle on the black to be able to manoeuvre the cue ball for reds into the same pocket.
By and large, Robertson
24.
has cued smoothly this evening when he's been in amongst them. He still has a pot success of 95%. He's only missed 3 balls.
25.
He's striding purposefully around the table.
Well, he could have played for the red to the left of the black, the one closest to the left corner.
32.
But I think he wants to leave that red there for when he goes into the pack of reds. He's got some insurance. A full stretch.
33.
And he did himself an injury there.
Yeah, and he hasn't come far enough, or he's gone too far, so he may have to play for that red now. Five reds, 5 blacks.
40. 41.
Still got another red he could play for, or he could decide to go into them. That's worked out okay. He's still on this red to the left corner.
48.
And still got another loose red after this red. And he'll know he's on a maximum.
£15,000 if anyone can make one this week.
49.
Robertson has 3 on his CV. There have been 6 in Welsh Open history. 2 of those made by Ronnie O'Sullivan. One of them in his final frame, his triumph over Ding Junhui
56.
in the final. What a way to seal victory.
57.
The red above the black will go, but he'd have to be very accurate here. Well, that looks just about right.
64.
Now, if he screws this red in, be guaranteed to be on the black. In some form.
65.
And that will do nicely.
Well, Joe Perry's just made a big century. But he could be trumped by his good friend here. Still a long way to go, but the Reds look nice. Perry leading Mark Davis 3-2 now, following that 100 break. Robertson looking for the perfect break.
Yeah, just wanted that cue ball to travel another couple of inches. I think he can still get to the black, but he's got to make sure of the pot first. That wins him the frame. Yeah, that's made sure of the pot. Left himself a difficult black, but that pot was all important.
Jordan Brown at this stage needs a couple of snookers already. Coolly done.
Choice of reds.
80.
Looks as though they've halted play on table 2 while Robertson goes for this
81.
maximum break. Shades of 1983 and Bill Werbenick peering behind the crucible curtain to watch Cliff Thorburn make the first ever one, the World Championship against Terry Griffiths. Thorburns maximum that day was launched by a fluke, of course. And then it was Jack Carnham's immortal line, "Good luck, mate," before he potted the final black. For a big slice of snooker history. We've had 146, 147 since then. Most recently Dave Gilbert at the Championship League, making the 147th maximum.
89.
Yeah, it doesn't want to be straight on this black. But he's played it very well. Choice of both reds, they both go.
96. $97.
Well, that's the 100.
53 for the season
104.
for Robertson. That's just 4 fewer than he made last season. 611 for his
105.
career. An outstanding tally. Only O'Sullivan, Hendry and Higgins have more.
Yeah, just let that cue ball go a little bit too far. Wanted a better angle on the black to be able to get to the red. He can still get there, but he's got to really power this one in. Well played.
112. Thank you.
Well, it's been a brilliant break to this point.
113.
Robertson is bound to be feeling a few butterflies. But what a chance he's given himself now.
Well, another great shot he's played there.
120.
Would have liked to have been straighter on the yellow, with the brown being where it is. Had to come round the 2 cushions for the green.
122.
And that will do nicely.
$125.
Cucumber cool. At least outwardly.
Yeah, he potted the brown thin there, and that's why he's lost the cue ball a little. But with the pink not being on its spot, it makes it easier. just to drop the blue in. Could either drop it in or screw it back because he is left-handed.
Well, 147 breaks are more commonplace these days, of course. There was a time when they were like gold dust. I remember Mark Williams pocketing £160,000 and change by making one at the Crucible, but they're still extra special. And what a break this has been. Stand by for a huge cheer for Neil Robertson.
Yeah, great shot.
He punches the air and he makes the 7th 147 break in Welsh Open snooker history, the 4th of his decorated career. Brilliant stuff from Neil Robertson. That's just how good he can be. Sensational break, a maximum break, the perfect break to put him on the cusp of victory at 3-1.
Shaun Murphy 1, Robert Milkins 0. First to 4 wins this Roar Open here this evening in Mulheim.
Shaun Murphy to break.
Something about these events seems to bring out the beast in Shaun Murphy. He played out of this world stuff in Bulgaria. It's been a similar sort of standard from him this weekend, but just shows you how high the standard is generally. He could have lost a couple of times in this tournament, but he's still here. Milkins himself, of course, was taken to the black by Rod Lawler in the quarter-finals. Thankfully for him, his semi-final with Stephen Maguire was pretty short, just an hour, so he's had a bit of time to get ready for the final, but not the best of starts from his point of view.
Well, I'm surprised he turned that red down the left side of the table. The black was available. He could have played around the back of it for the blue. He's an attacking player, Robert Milkins. And the safety shot that he played wasn't good enough. And it could be costly.
Yes, one of the features of this tournament for Murphy has been the quality of his long potting. He's been knocking plenty of these in, getting in frames, and that's how he's been leading up to making big breaks.
Yes, and he has knocked in some belters, hasn't he?
8.
I really do like it when I see him attacking like this.
9.
Now, could decide to go into them here. Wouldn't need to go into them with a lot of screw, just stun into them, open 3 or 4 reds, he'd be on that red above the black. Well, played it with screw, and it's okay.
2 reds, 2 blacks, Joe?
Yes, exactly. Well, he's had 2 really good chances, hasn't he, at the maximum. Should have had both of them. Mr. Relatively Easy Blue and Green.
Well, you know the old phrase, 3rd time lucky.
Well, keep my fingers crossed for him, because he certainly deserves one today. It's just a little awkward, that red above the black. Okay for a left-handed player, but he may need the spider for it. Great shot. Oh, surely he's not blocked the pocket. Well, the body language says no. That's a terrific recovery shot. And look at the reds. Look at the reds.
Well, they do say if at first you don't succeed, try again.
24. 25. 25.
Again, that's okay. You can see enough of the red to the left corner.
32.
Well, but Milkins will be faring the worst. With the red's nicely spread like this. He may not be thinking about maximum, but I'm sure Shaun Murphy is. Could have done with a little bit more right-hand side on the cue ball there. So the white would have been straighter on the black. What a great picture. Packed house. He's got a nice angle on the red to the left middle
40.
to be able to come back down for the black. Or he could completely forget about the maximum and play perfectly onto the pink. Played down for the black off 2 cushions and played it well.
Here we go again. Third time today. Shows how well he's been playing, that he's had 3 good chances, and they were good. As I say, missed the blue in his match against Joe Swale, missed the green, just left it short, hanging in the jaws against Mark Williams. Can he make amends here?
Well, all these reds seem easy enough, although hasn't quite come far enough for the red he played for, just below the pink.
56.
But he has one to the left corner if he can't get back to the black. Yes, he's playing for the maximum. That was easy to play for the pink there. The only dodgy red really is that one next to the blue.
He's had 2 maximums earlier this year, within a couple of weeks of each other in Gdynia and the Championship League, and also his first in 2001, the Masters qualifier.
$65.
I like the way that Shaun plays position on reds. Always tries to leave himself with a couple of options. Same thing again there. Had he not quite gone far enough, he had the red to the middle.
72.
So the next red makes the frame safe. That's the frame safe. Now if you can just slide past the pink here, take that red to the left of the pink, out in the open, that releases the other 2 reds. Just needs to slide past it, and that's just enough.
80. 81.
Sure.
88.
Well, I'm nervous watching, but Shaun is a strong character. I mean, to bounce back from those disappointments earlier today in the way he did, he just kind of shrugged them off, didn't he? Had a smile and got on with the next frame. I guess these guys are nervous as well. All willing him on.
$89.
Yes, and that's why I want him to get this one so badly, because he deserves it. Especially with his attitude and not quite making the maximums earlier. Didn't cry about it, just got on with the game. Nice angle on the red in the middle.
$97.
Well, the black will give him his 8th century of the tournament, which again shows how well he's been playing.
Come on, White. Come on a bit more.
104.
Now, imperative, he leaves a nice angle on the black.
105.
That's just about right. Now he can play this one or two ways. He can come top side of the blue, like he's looking at there, or leave the red to the baulk corner. Decided to go top side of the blue. It needs to keep running. Oh, would you believe it?
112.
He might be able to pot it, but it's difficult to get to the black.
We're here again. Well, can he see it first of all? That's the first part of it.
There goes the red.
Well, if he knocks this black in, gets on the yellow, he deserves the 147. What a shot this is.
Gets in. Oh, where's that cue ball? Keep running. Keep running. Just about right. Great shot.
What a shot. Bearing in mind everything that's happened today, 2 near misses on a 147. What a shot to pull out. And it will be all the sweeter if he can do it now, bearing in mind what's happened today.
He'll do it now. He'll do it. Just got to remember that pink is off the spot. Come on, Shaun.
Missed the blue against Joe Swale, missed the green against Mark Williams. Maybe he was just toying with us, waiting for the final.
134.
What strength of character. He's putting everyone through it, isn't he?
140.
Superb.
Fantastic. Third time lucky indeed for Shaun Murphy. A 147 after 2 near misses. They're on their feet for Shaun Murphy. It's his 4th 147 and it puts him 2-0 up in the final. So this is now a position where Bingham would usually thrive. He's got the black on its spot, or he will do when he pots it. Red's to go at, sort of position you'd fancy him to make a big break, and that's what he'll be looking to do, just to sort of break this impasse that's happened in terms of the way the match has gone. break free of the shackles that have been put on him by Peter Ebdon.
Eight. Nine.
Once again, some movement. We've seen a bit of that. Ebdon has been on the wrong end of it a couple of times. Just somebody moving right in the eye line of one of the players.
$60. $17.
Oh, that's a good shot. Now that really has opened things up. He can get through to it as well, the cue ball all right.
Yeah, and all right, it's early stages, but 3 reds, 3 blacks, and the balls are sitting nicely, you've got to say. He made a maximum last year in this tournament.
Well, any sizable break here would come out of the blue. It wouldn't really be in keeping with what we've seen. But like as Dave said, there's not a pack of reds there in any way. They've already been opened up. For now, of course, his concentration is on just getting to the point of no return in the frame, getting his lead back. Having led 3-0 to be pegged back to 3-all, I don't think a maximum is at the forefront of your mind when you come to the table.
40.
Maybe in a few shots though.
$41.
Well, we've had 5 in Beijing itself. As I say, he made one last year. Ronnie O'Sullivan also made one here last year. Main thing, though, obviously get the frame one, which is what he needs, just to re-steady himself.
49.
Yeah, at the moment it's more difficult to play on a lower value colour than the black. You know, he's not taking any liberties by staying with reds and blacks. It's the obvious shots. Well, I think he's okay on that bottom red. And again, it seems to be the right shot to play. I'm not sure if it's the one he actually meant to play on. Not that that matters at this point.
$57.
Dave Gilbert, of course, made the 147th maximum in snooker history earlier this season. Yu Long in the Indian Open made the 150th, that's the most recent. For the record, Bingham so far has had 4 in his career.
64. $65.
Bonus is 20,000 plus the 7,000 high break prize, so it would be financially rewarding. Anyway, still not won the frame yet.
No, he might just run through here and play on the bottom red. If you can see a different shot, he might play that as well, but the fact that he hasn't played that means he's still concentrating on winning the frame.
72.
And once again, it's probably as easy to play on the black as anything else here. Yep, he'll be playing on the black from this. And now the frame is won. There's no reason why he won't run through. He'll play on the red below the black, I'm sure. Certainly there is less risk attached. Well, this way, playing on that red, he's not got the perfect angle to get back on the black, though.
$81. 哎，麻烦不要击球的时候不要在赛场内走动啊，谢谢。
Bit high on it.
我们安保人员注意管一下，谢谢。
Well, someone getting a bit excited maybe, being told to calm down by the referee. It's worth saying, sorry Neil, I was going to say it's worth saying that although obviously they become more common maximums, you know, a lot of spectators have never seen one live, so it would be a big deal for them.
Yeah, of course. It would be. And he's finally on this red, although he's on it into the opposite pocket too. You'd have thought he'd play on. But he's got it. Now a low angle on the black up for the 2 reds. Not a lot wrong with that shot. Even though the reds are at the wrong end of the table, it's not impossible to get reds and blacks from there. And of course, the other red, for a right-hander, it's not so difficult, the one down the cushion. That's well played. That's a nice judgment of pace. It's on now. There's no doubt about that.
$97.
As long as he's not straight, that's okay. Bit of angle on a shot like this means he can put the cue ball wherever he wants. He's got to decide whether he plays on the low red here or not.
Black for the century.
So the big shot, it seems, as long as this goes in, will be how he gets from the red up the table onto the black again. He's already formulating a plan of finishing a little bit low on the black to have the angle to go up for that red.
$105.
Well, that looks as good as you're going to get, really.
请大家保持安静，谢谢。
Now, really, the audience must calm things down here. We would hate to think of him being put off at this stage of a maximum break opportunity. Well, that's not perfect at all. It's a little bit low.
113.
But at least he's got an angle to get from black to yellow. It's the only good thing about that. He wanted to be a little bit straighter than this. So it's a natural to come in behind the yellow, but the pot could be missed. Well done. What an opportunity.
He's made
120.
2 of his 4 competitive maximums in China. This would be his 2nd in Beijing. Needs the 6 colours.
122.
I always make the point here that the pink is very unlikely to ever be on its spot in a 147 break because it's never been potted. But it's in a very good position in the middle of the table. Can be the stumbling block in a 147 attempt.
25.
But you'd think not on this occasion.
I'm sure he's glad now they accepted the re-rack. We said he was looking for something. This would be dramatic, wouldn't it?
29.
Well, he's absolutely perfectly placed on the blue. It's been a fabulous break. Really. Would you ever see a poor 147 attempt when it gets this far in? But this one has been very well constructed.
It's not really been in trouble at all. He's controlled it so well. Stuart Bingham, a great snooker fan as well as a great snooker player. This will mean a lot to him. Terrific 147 from Stuart Bingham. You can see what it means to him there with the clenched fist. His 5th maximum break. Higgins, I'm sure, will feel he needs to counter-attack here. And just try and reduce that confidence that Mafflin clearly has been feeling this morning. Make him dwell on an error. But that's the beauty of championship snooker. You've got the game itself, which is hard enough. You've got all the mind games as well in the background. The psychology, which makes it such a fascinating watch. Yeah, another sizable break for Salby, so he's put together 3 good frames there to lead 3-1 at the interval.
9. $16. 17.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think he knows he's got to make a counter-attack here, but if he could come out of this session at 2-all, he's kind of still 24. There hanging on, knowing that he's got an opportunity to get some frames under his belt. But if he lost this one and fell further behind, then he really, I think, would start to feel uncomfortable out there.
$25. $32.
Well, 33. I'll make this the 5th black coming up.
Yes, should have been a 147 last night, shouldn't they, on this very side of the table with Steve Maguire. Looked, I thought he was, at one point, looked like he really was going to make one.
Well, Kurt Mafflin, of course, had a chance in the first round. Ended on 105.
I wonder if he's got any interest in continuing on the black here. I think if he runs this red through, we know he's got a choice of playing with that or another one. I mean, I never understand with breaks, you know, you always say it wins one frame and you've got to look at the match context, but if the break prize is high, and we've had some huge break prizes here, then really maybe the answer is to go for them if the chance is on rather than win the frame.
$55,000 in total, 40,000 for the maximum, 15 for the high break. That's the prize.
It's a lot of money just to say, well, I'd rather just be sure winning the frame, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Well, he's had 9 maximums, Higgins, never won at the Crucible. There's very few things he's never done in the game, but this would be a first for him.
Yeah, he's played that nicely, Dave.
49.
Well, Crucible maximums have been a rarity in recent years, haven't they? 2012. When you think the man who made it, Stephen Hendry, has been retired for since then, basically, all those years. No one's got near.
Well, I've only ever had 10, and they've been made by 6 different players.
No, that's not a good shot. Not a good shot at all. Be furious, actually, to hit that red on the way through. It wasn't, for him,
56.
That difficult looking a shot. Well, I suppose he could pop the red up and play back on the black, but he'd be enraged to have finished there. But now maybe the winning of the frame comes right back into the equation as the most important thing. If you could pop this red in the middle, I think he'd be heading on the black. Well, I get the feeling he's not entirely given up the ghost here of getting it. If he's playing this red, he must have a chance if it goes in of getting on the black. It doesn't look a natural, but as you can see, the red goes. What'll happen to the cue ball? Well, we'll soon find out if the red's going in. We're right behind the line.
$57.
Wow. Wow. All of a sudden, in some ways, that bad shot, Dave, has helped him because the reds are even better spread now than they would have been had he got on that red initially.
Yeah, this is a definite chance for Jhon Higgins to add his name to that roll of honour. Maximum break makers at the Crucible.
$64. $65.
Just looking at the two reds below and to the left of the pink, they're not as easy to get on as you might think they are. But once he pots one of them, the other one is, of course, exposed. So that'll be a test, perhaps. And you often find that players play onto reds into the middle pockets more in these circumstances, because then getting back for the black is fairly easy. I think Jhon recognises that this is a proper chance. Well, he's played on that red to the middle, goodness me. And that would be one of the more difficult reds. This was a shot which
72.
Brought everything back into the open.
$73.
Well, the frame is safe. That's the first thing which you always want to happen under these circumstances. Might play through the gap between the two reds here. Yeah, that's exactly what he's played, and it's absolutely perfectly
80.
judged. Come on, Ben, concentrate. This is quite important.
80.
Ben Williams, the referee, forgot to take the black out.
The other match is on the interval, so it's not the case that they stop playing. Remember Bill Werbeneck peeking round when Cliff Thorburn made the first maximum here in 1983.
81.
Well, surely the reason they stopped playing is because of the crowd possibly getting in the way, isn't it? Anyway, like you say, it's not relevant here. Now, the only thing I would say, Dave, is that the Reds are kind of blocking each other off a little bit. He's got to get top side of a red. Oh, that's okay. That's fine. That's a perfect way to play it.
As I say, he's made 9 maximums.
88.
The most recent was at the 2018 Scottish Open in his native Glasgow.
89.
Top side of the next red, of course. He may have played a little cannon there, knowing that
96.
if he freed the red, it would be even better. I don't think he's delighted with the last shot. Gonna go twice across, I think. Doesn't want to be straight.
97.
He might have to play a red to the middle if he is. I think that's the case. And then, of course, it is the one way he's assured of having a shot at the red. So, probably as difficult a
104.
shot as the red into the opposite middle earlier in the break, this. Oh, he's got it, Dave.
105.
Brilliant.
What a chance now. Yeah, this is another excellent pod under pressure to keep the break going.
And again, you saw the extra he put into the shot just to ensure that he was above it, above the red, which means
112.
getting onto the black is very much achievable. Next objective, an angle on the black to get on the yellow is absolutely essential here.
Yeah, a couple of key shots coming up for sure. Jhon Higgins, one of the great pressure players in snooker history.
The pink is not on its
113.
spot because it never will be. When you think about it, it's never been potted, but it's so close to it. Usually the pink can be an issue later in a 147 attempt because it can be on a side cushion or near that. But it's absolutely perfect from black to yellow here. Screw up one cushion. Wow, this is serious stuff.
120.
He never made a maximum, you know, even in practice until after he won his first world title. Remember, he made his first at the Nations Cup in Reading.
122.
But if you make one at the Crucible, it's a desert island frame. It's one you never forget. 5 balls to go.
125.
Just a nice little angle in behind the blue, just off straight perhaps, where he hasn't got to use a cushion to get from blue to pink.
$129.
Oh, that is a delight. That's just where you want to be.
$134.
8 years it's been since Stephen Hendry made the last maximum here at the Crucible. His compatriot is 2 balls away.
Looks like you're going to play the run through of one cushion.
140.
It's a little bit further away from the black than he would like, but this is the one. What a moment.
Fantastic.
147.
Jhon Higgins makes the 11th Crucible Maximum.
Well done, John.
Cool as you like. A remarkable break by a truly remarkable champion. And look at that smile. That break, if no one equals it, is worth £55,000. A moment of history for Jhon Higgins. He trails Kurt Mafflin 7-5 at the interval. Brilliant.
Yeah. Eight. No. $60. $70. $24. Yeah, sure. 25. $32. $33. $40. $41. $48. $49. $56. $57. 64. 65. 72. 73. 80. 81. 88. 89. 96. 97. 104. 105. 112. 113. 120. 122. 125. 129. 134. 140.
Get it.
147, the frame and the match. Ryan Day. Well done, Ryan. Thanks, Ross.
You got to hit those thin. Stuart knows he's made what we call a schoolboy error there. In fact, you're better off missing the red altogether with the first attempt rather than doing that. Put Marco in straight away here. Mid-session interval coming up after this.
One.
The two reds above the black, if he can, the one on the left, would be a good shot to play. And that's exactly what he did.
Eight. White.
I don't know if he's quite got the angle to follow through for the black. I think that's what he's playing because he's getting the cue ball cleaned. So it's got a delicate follow through shot. Obviously he doesn't want to get a kick and leave the cue ball where the red is. In fact, he's playing a screw shot. He's always going to leave the cue ball a bit further away from the black, playing with bottom and the cue ball instead of the top. He felt he was always going to have a guaranteed pot playing it that way. Yeah, this is a great opportunity
16.
now. Made 357 centuries in his career, Marco Fu, so fantastic break builder. Very heavy scorer when he gets going.
Thank you. 70. $24. $25.
Well, those three reds in a line above the black. If he cannoned the middle one of those, he probably won't play the cannon because there's enough open reds, but that's the shot to play. Yeah, he's played it. A little bit unlucky. He's not got the angle. He may have to play the red up to the green pocket here.
32.
Just looking at the gap, but this is a tricky little positional shot. If he's playing through the gap, he doesn't want to catch any of the reds because he could leave the cue ball nowhere. I think if the red is straight into the green pocket, this is a shot to play. Five reds and the fifth black coming up, and you honestly couldn't place the reds any better, apart from possibly the one that's in the bulk area. Well, what an opportunity here.
40.
I don't think Marco's the kind of player that will be thinking about 1-4-7s yet, but he'll know how well the Reds are placed.
41.
I remember when he made his first, it was in the Scottish Masters way back in 2000. He made a maximum break. There was a car for it, and he couldn't drive. What a chance, as you said, Stephen.
48. $49.
This red will open up
56.
Another 3 into either corner. He just potted that red in the left-hand side of the pocket. That's why he's finished low in the black. He didn't pot that red cleanly. And then you see he just goes off the right-hand jaw. So a little bit trickier to hold the cue ball here. Someone nicely played though. Further away from this red than you'd like still. These are missable if you try and hold them without using a cushion. I think he'll stun off the black cushion here.
65.
The 3 reds closest to the pink. Perhaps a cannon in the middle, one of those. That's worked out well. Perfect.
72.
Surely not on the opening day of this year's Masters could we possibly see a maximum break. Wouldn't that be a story?
73. $80. $81.
The first maximum break made at the Masters was an overseas player. The man with the white suit from Canada, Kirk Stevens, made it against Jimmy White. And Marco from Hong Kong is still going along nicely here.
Yeah, maybe going up for the red past the blue here, because he finished a little bit low in the black and needs the angle. That looks about perfect. Great shot.
89.
He got hold of his head there. He didn't intend to cannon the blue, but he's okay.
Nice shot there, just played the cue ball into an area with a choice of red to right centre or red to right corner.
$97.
Again, we'll probably play the cue ball somewhere around where it is now, a choice of red to left centre or right corner.
$104.
Another fraction, and he would have been left with a choice of either red. He's got to get a little bit of action. And Stuart now sitting there, he'd love to see Marco make a maximum here. Once the frame's over, you're cheering your opponent on. Well, he's played this perfectly. One more good positional shot, and the chance is really there.
Yeah, I'd love to be straight in this red, just to stun the cue ball, leave it exactly where the red is, and that looks about perfect. Just leave the cue ball where the red is, so you can pot the black and stun off 2 cushions for the yellow.
Well, Stephen's calling all these shots. He has made the maximum on 11 occasions. And he's played it.
130.
Exactly as Stephen said. Now he can drop it in or he can use the 2 cushions. Depends how he feels. He's gone for the 2 cushions. And he's played it perfectly.
120.
Well, I tell you what, this crowd is certainly getting excited.
122.
I tell you, from 24 points on, it has been absolutely perfect.
125.
Well, there's a huge crowd in the Ali Pali tonight. 2 more pots.
134.
And they'll lift the roof. Come on, Marco.
140.
To do it in front of a fabulous crowd here at the Ali Palace. And isn't he delighted? Everyone's standing up, and he deserves that standing ovation. Marco Fu goes to the mid-session interval, making a maximum break to lead 3 frames to 1.
Hicks all through to the last 32. Ding Junhui's 2-0 up against Lu Ning on table 2. That's on the Eurosport app. Very interesting match about to start. Tepchara Nu against Fergal O'Brien. The ultimate clash of styles there.
One.
Tremendous to get in off a shot like this, and moving the red away from the black became very handy.
Nine.
Got a feeling that was a little bit tight. Might have had to play that with left hand side to straighten the angle on that red. Now forcefully here into the bunch. doesn't look all that productive, that shot.
16.
Didn't hit it as hard as he might have done. I guess if he hits it harder, the cue ball throws a little wide. And he may have missed the bunch. There he's on this red up into the yellow pocket. Well, that'd be handy. This is pretty adjacent. What a recovery shot that was. This really was a terrific shot. Just to see enough of the red to pot it, I felt.
$25.
Well, dare we say it, fourth black. Well, I have said it, I know, but you just get the feeling, don't you, with Trump, that maybe it's on his mind.
I'd already thought it.
33.
Yeah, it is cliche, but you have to put the frame away first. Clearly, you don't take any liberties. There would be no point in doing that. I don't think I've seen very many 147 breaks where someone has taken an undue risk at the start of it. Usually it's all done with authentic shots. May have been one somewhere along the lines, but you don't take those sort of risks until the frame is secure.
We had one last year, Stuart Bingham, of course, in Belfast, and Jhon Higgins made one in 2016 in this event.
48. $49. Yeah.
It may have felt that he got a very slightly heavy contact there, I suppose. Hence, his position is not immaculate here for this next black. This will be the big test now, really.
56.
Yeah, he's got every right to play on a lower value colour here. No, that's
57.
A continuation, as if it's in his sights as well, because rolling it in on the pink was potentially the shot. Well, that might do if it goes. Does it pass the other red?
64.
I think it does. And once again, it's easier to play on something else but the black. Now he's got to say, look, what do I do? Do I try for the 147, or am I just going to roll this in, get on the blue, get the frame one, 3-0 up? There's your answer.
65.
Staying on the black again. Definitely in his sights.
He wants it. He's made 4 in his career, Judd Trump, in professional competition. We had one last week, of course, Shaun Murphy in the German Masters qualifiers here in Milton Keynes. That was the 160th in snooker history.
Oh, I like that shot. That really has developed everything now. The reds are all lined up quite nicely to this right corner.
80. 81.
Interesting. Left himself near the cushion, but with a natural angle to run across to the left if it goes in onto the bottom red. He's got the backup red to the middle.
$88. $89.
And of course, in getting on that bottom red, the other two reds are released to the left corner. Needs to get high enough on this next red. And it's a wonderful chance now, it really is.
96.
Of course, when he was 14, he became the youngest player to make a competitive maximum break. The signs were there, as Neil said earlier, for a long, long time with Trump, of how special he would be.
Well, 147s are not rare, but it still gives you a great buzz to watch them being compiled. Well, he must feel he got a kick there, but it's not the end of the world by any means. He might just play onto the red into the same pocket as he takes his black instead of the other side.
Well, there were times early on in the break where he could have played for other colours. He stuck to the black. He wants this maximum, and what a chance now for Judd Trump to make it.
Obviously wants to be low on this, and that's okay. He's a little low, but it always means that he has the angle to get up for the yellow. And of course, I always make this point, but the pink is never going to be on its spot because it's never been potted. But it's very close to it. It's in a very good position. This really is as good as it gets.
122.
Well, something's going to have to go very dramatically wrong to stop him now. I'm sure his family are all watching back in Bristol. They've had so much to watch, haven't they, the last few years, and be really happy about.
$129.
Oh, this is fantastic. It really is perfectly now. Drop this in.
$134.
Pink and black then.
$140.
Is there anything this young man can't do?
Judd Trump.
Judd Trump.
$8. Yeah. 9.
Well, he's already had one kick that looked as though it was going to cost him the frame in the fourth.
60. $17. $24. $25.
Played with a lot of right hand side on the cue ball. And just had a look at that red directly above the black to see if it will go to that left corner.
33.
And if it does, you could use that red to open more reds up. And that looks just about right to be able to do that. Needed to finish low on the red. Playing it with top spin to come through the reds. And played it very well, developing more reds. This is more like Kyren Wilson. Nearly called him Cliff Wilson.
$48.
Just an opportunity for Wilson to try and regain maximum concentration. That seems to have been part of the problem for him today. Some of the mistakes he's made can only really be put down to losing his focus, which isn't normally an issue for Kyren. So he's giving every shot everything here in a bid to restore his two-frame advantage. Collected his 4th career ranking title this season, of course, in the Championship League, beating Trump in the final. And Trump said afterwards that he'd played the perfect match. Trump didn't make a mistake in those 4 frames. Wilson was just outstanding with his long potting. Potted everything available. And of course he beat Trump for his maiden ranking title 5 years ago now at the Shanghai Masters. He's had a couple of losses to the world #1 this season as well, but he does tend to raise his game against the very best, and perhaps that's part of the problem for him today, that of course he's overwhelming favourite to win and just hasn't quite been keyed up maybe in the way that he would be if he was facing a Trump or an O'Sullivan.
64.
Yeah, good call that. And that's probably what it is, that he feels that he's going to win this match anyway, and kind of like takes
65.
that little edge off the game. Now, chance to go into the reds. Does he need to? No. One more red after this black will do it. But decided to go into them. And well, he's on a red to the right middle.
72.
Yeah, good shot. And that seals the frame.
And there's the small matter of a possible maximum here. He's already had one this season in the aforementioned Championship League.
80.
Well, this will be good news for Kyren Wilson and for the Jessie May Children's Hospice if he can do it. £15,000 for the top break of the tournament. And £10,000 guaranteed for a maximum from our sponsors
88.
Betway. So big moments here.
Well, he'd have to play this at pace into the middle, screwing back for the black. It's missable this, but it gives him a great chance if it goes in. Yeah, good shot.
89.
Good shot.
Beg your pardon, it was the Welsh Open that Wilson made his maximum in this year, not the Championship League. He won the Championship League, of course, but what a chance he's got here to make his third. And to do it at the UK Championship would be extra special. Second only to the World Championship
97.
as regards prestige. Well, there's the century, his second of the afternoon. He has made quite a few errors, Wilson, but when he's been good today, he's been very good. He made a 107 clearance in the first frame. What a chance he's got now.
105.
Yes, it would be his third maximum as well. Nice angle on the black here. Touch of right hand side on the cue ball. Overhit it slightly, but better that than underhitting it.
112.
No crowd to cheer him on, but you can be sure the butterflies will be fluttering right now.
$113.
Oh, it just wriggled in.
Yeah, heart in the mouth time, that one. Caught that near angle.
$122.
No, he got a kick on the green. Similar type of shot, actually.
$125.
He didn't kick then, he said.
Well, they may be more common these days, maximum breaks, but no less special, particularly at a tournament that means so much to the players.
129.
I just lost the cue ball a little bit there. He's cheering him on, that's for sure. Is it hard enough? He's not hard enough. He's going to have to go all the way around the table here. Good pot. And he's found the angle beautifully. Look at this cue ball. Brilliant.
What a fantastic positional shot. And now just this black for another slice of UK Championship history. He's steeling himself for one last effort. Magnificent Kyren Wilson, superb, a maximum break at the UK Championship, that's £15,000 in the bag. £10,000 for the Jessie May Children's Hospice from our sponsors Betway. What a way to burst back into his top form as he leads by 4 frames to 2.
One. Eight. Nine. $16. 17. 24. 25. 32. 33. 40. 41. 48. 49. 56. 57. 58. 64. $65. 72. 73. 80. 81. 88. 89. 96. 97. 104. 105. 112. 113. 120. 122. 125. 129. 134. 135. 140. 147 and frame. Kyren Wilson. Great break, Gary.
One.
Well, nice couple of kisses. Good pot to start with. But those couple of kisses and he's on the black. Gilbert has never won a ranking event. Williams has won many, particularly in the last year or so. And I think that made the difference in the end. Big disappointment for Dave, who played so well in the final.
Nine.
Although that run to the final has got him in the World Grand Prix for the 32 leading money earners of the season, with a chance to get in the Players' Championship, which is for the top 16. There is then an 8-man event, a new tournament, the Tour Championship, which forms part of the new Coral Series.
16.
Some big money to be earned in those, and they all count towards the rankings.
17. 24. 25. 32. 33.
'So that's 5 reds, 5 blacks for Dave Gilbert, who has made a 147 in the Championship League. We've had 146 147s, so the next one's going to be special numerically, but they're all special in their own right. And he's under not real pressure in terms of the match, because even if he'd lost the
48.
match, he's qualified with ease as #1 in the group, so he can give this his full attention, I think.
40.
Potted a great black off the 15th red, fluked the yellow, then missed the green on 1-2-2.
$56. 57.
Make no mistake, it would still be special if he were to do this.
64.
That's 8 reds, 8 blacks so far.
$65.
There's a red on the left-hand side cushion, which he's gonna need to deal with, bring out at some point, or maybe playing behind it.
$73.
This looks a good chance. Frame is now secure. There is a £500 high break prize for each group. Mark Salby at the moment
80.
topping the list with 143.
$81.
Well, that's a nice cannon. So now it's all about the red on the just off the left-hand side cushion.
88.
The first 147 was made on January the 11th, 1982 by Steve Davis in the Larder Classic. Dave Gilbert here was not even a year old. It would be very special to make the 147th.
96. 97.
'So there's the century, but now it's all about
104.
the maximum, and in particular this last red.
$105.
112. The key shot then now is this red. We've been building up to it the whole frame. It's just a little awkward with this rest. He can't quite reach it without it. Just getting the rest in. What a big shot for Gilbert. He's got it, and he's on the black. What a chance now for David Gilbert, who wasn't even in this group, remember, until yesterday morning. Luca Brissell withdrew, citing illness. Dave Gilbert got the call just 90 minutes before the start of play. He's won 5 out of 5 matches, and he stands here on the brink of snooker history, the 147th maximum break.
120.
He needs the 6 colours.
122.
All about holding his nerve. Think of all the thousands, tens of thousands of frames that have been played since Davis made that first one 37 years ago. It's still a relatively rare feat, and still one every snooker player dreams of. Gilbert's made one before in this tournament, but this would be a special one.
$129.
Well, if anything, he's left himself just a little high on this blue. Pink and black.
134.
What a moment then for Dave Gilbert.
140.
Deep breaths. Fantastic. Dave Gilbert makes the 147th 147 break in snooker history. He held his nerve superbly, particularly on that last red with the rest down the rail. A little bit of history for Dave Gilbert. The referee actually just telling the players that it's the 147th. That is a moment to remember for Dave Gilbert.
You didn't have a chance of 500 quid, what more do you want?
One.
8. Nine. $16. 17. 24. 25. 32. 33. 40. 41. 48. 49. 56. 57. 64. 65. $72. $73. $80. $81. $88. $89. $96. $97. $104. $105. $112. $113. $120. $122. $125. $129. $134.
140. On the frame, Barry Hawkins. Right there. I couldn't see her timing on it.
One.
Oh, these balls are absolutely perfect. Black freely available into both corners. Obviously Ding won't even be thinking of going for a 147. Ronnie would be. He'd be straight away thinking 147 here, but it's more important for Ding to stay in the match. Maybe Ronnie would go for a 145 instead. He's already had the 146.
8. Nine.
How funny would it be if someone did come along this week now and make a 147? You might do it yourself. Ronnie is still in.
I read an article that one of the leading bookmakers was offering 60,000 to Ronnie if he got one, so he could give some of it to charity. I don't know whether that's a true story.
17.
But anyway, it's key here for Ding to get a frame-winning break, you know, so it takes a lot of pressure off him. He doesn't want any nitty-gritty frames at the minute. He'd like to win frames easy to get back into it. Obviously got plenty of work to do. If you can win them at one visit, you don't get put through as much pressure. It's when you start, you know, having 40 points each and playing the last 2 or 3 reds and colours, it puts a lot of pressure on you. You can win at one visit, there's no pressure. You probably saw the cue ball bounce there. It's not too bad. I thought for 1 minute it wasn't going to get there, but
24.
As the cue ball travelled here, just watch the way the white bounced. Just saw a little bit of pace out of the ball. That cue ball would have ran 2 or 3 more inches. I think he's okay just to go around the back of the black for the black into the same pocket. Yes, he is. Not so much so he can hold it for the opposite corner. A little cannon here, and then he may start thinking about the 147. It goes well. As long as he hits some full ball, the 2 reds that are touching just above the black. Doesn't have to play this pacey. Normally when you go into a bunch like this, you play them quite pacey, but because they're split apart, you don't need to go on them pacey. He's bound to be on the red in the opposite corner. That is a different way to what I was thinking, but it's still on a red. Whether we can get onto the black now, I don't think so.
32.
Yes, and I think if he was 4-1 up in this match and not 4-1 down, would be playing a shot to right corner with a load of right hand side to swing it back down for the black. I think due to the fact he's 4-1 down, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't play up for pink or the blue. Well, he has. He's played the run inside shot back for the black, so I think it's fair to say he's got the maximum on his mind.
Being one of the few players that's made
41.
multiple 147s in tournament play. He's had 5 already in tournament play. O'Sullivan, I think it's 13 now. Once again, he could play a cannon here on one of the reds, or just play for the loose one, doesn't matter which.
This
just might be the... Okay, he might still go on to lose this match, but this could
49.
be a little bit of a confidence booster to get Ding's season back on track should he go on to make a 147. You always need something to knock yourself into gear. He is undoubtedly one of the game's great break builders, and I don't say that lightly. There's only 4 or 5 great break builders in the game.
Yeah.
He's one of them.
Yeah, so without giving him commentator's curse, the balls are absolutely perfect. There's nothing on the side cushions. Obviously, once Jhon has potted enough, so was Neil Robertson. Can't win this frame. Neil Robertson will be in his chair cheering him on.
Needs to be high on this, and he is. That's a great shot. If he'd been low there, that would have been end of maximum, but he's got high.
64.
I think there's 2 of these reds pot. Can he get through the gap to pot that red there, which in turn will open the other 2 reds? So he'd love to get that one through the gap, because that opens up those 3 reds, but he'll take the other one. It's still okay for the black. Don't want to risk anything yet, you're not over the winning line yet in this frame. Just needs 1 more red to make the frame safe, but then he can play a risky shot if necessary to get onto the black. Just a little bounce, he's on the one in the middle.
$72.
This is the art of break building, always get the right angle on the next ball. Don't make it easy to get onto the black in this case.
73.
Now ideally he'd love to get on 2 reds here, but on and off the cushion. Obviously there's the loose red he can get on, but if you can get that little gap in between those 2 reds to get the other red that's there, he'll take that one first. And that's what he's played for, because of course that opens the other 2 reds, and now he doesn't have to play any kiss. He doesn't have to play any cannon now to make a 147. That was brilliant the way he played that
81.
shot.
Yes, if anything, and Neil will be cheering him on now. He knows he's lost a frame. Landed a little bit straighter on that black than he'd have liked, but he's played it ever so well. He's back in perfect position.
88.
This is now turning into a real great chance.
89.
And he's short this time. He can play for the red, or the 2 reds into the left centre, or he can play the more trickier shot. Play with the tracer right hand side and swing past the 2 reds. But it's not a nice shot to play, and definitely not at this stage. Well, he opted for the easier option.
96.
Making the black easier, but it's made this red a little bit more tricky.
97.
He's back in perfect position once again.
Oh, needs a bounce. Needs a little bounce. That's a poor shot. Goodness me. Okay, he's on the one in the middle, but it's not the right angle.
104.
Yes, his face tells a story there. He's got to dig down on this, go round the back of the black probably. Come on, Ding. It's there. Well played. That's the first difficult shot he's had to play in this break. That's how good this break has been. That's the first time he wasn't perfect on a ball. This Cardiff crowd feel they've been slightly cheated out of a 147 earlier on in the week. This now is an unbelievable chance. Don't be straight. Don't be straight.
113.
Little shake of the head. He's got a slight angle. He can't get close to the yellow, but needs to get loads of side on this to widen the angle. Spin. Yeah, he couldn't get close to the yellow. Guess. Just
120.
With the potted the black in the left-hand side of the pocket, it would have gone wider with a cue ball. Come on, knock this in. Well done. The white is not hard enough, though. He's going to have to be faced with another tricky shot with the rest. Doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball. Just pot it plain ball. You'll come round 2 cushions and naturally be on the brown. Oh, the crowd, as you can see, are smiling and hoping. Those 2 Chinese girls in the front row have got all fingers crossed. Get in. Well played, Ding. The natural angle was there. Didn't have to do anything with the cue ball.
125.
Slow down, White. Needs the White to slow down.
129.
Slow down. Oh dear. It's never easy, this game. In and out of baulk, not guaranteed to be perfect, but it will have some sort of shot on the pink. Oh, Ding played in and out of baulk. Get close to it. They're praying. Do you play in and out of baulk, or do you just roll it in? That's the choice he's got. Oh dear.
134.
This pink for £12,000 and a 147. Because if the pink goes in, I'm sure he'll pot the black. It's there. It's there. What a fantastic shot on the pink. Jing Wei's got every chance of making his 6th maximum in competitive play. Absolutely wonderful. What a fantastic break. Neil Robenson offers his hand in congratulations. The crowd are standing. They love it here in Cardiff. Jing Wei back in the match with a 147. He still trails though by 4 frames to 2. What an amazing break. And he once did a loose position in that break. First class.